to challenge the constitution of the Northwest Provincial Task Team, the PTT, in court. The party appointed a 32-member task team to guide that province politically after the Provincial Executive Council was dissolved. Some of the former members of the disbanded PEC have returned to this task team, including the former Northwest Premier, Supra Mahumapelo, whose leadership resulted in the Provincial Committee being disbanded in the first place. To discuss, we're joined by the SABC's Olebogeng Khosiletswe. Olebogeng, thank you for being with us. So I understand the task team was active today, but the most controversial member, Supra Mahumapelo, was not at the event.
Good evening, Francis. That is true. Supra Mahumapelo, as well as some allies that are known to be, staunch supporters of him, who are in the task team themselves, were not present. And when we speak to the leadership of the NEC to probe how they take that absence, they told us that they did not want to speculate as to what the reasons could be for the absence of those important members of the PTT, but that they had not received any apology, stating whether or not they would be a part of the meeting. And so it was quite a surprise to many people who were there not to see those members of the PTT present today. But I must also elaborate that there was quite a lot of disruptions today when we were at the event. A lot of people came in singing different songs to what was being sung in the hall, and obviously they were escorted outside. Once again, after 5 minutes, they would come in, and we saw people throwing chairs at each other, punching each other, swearing at each other even. So that in itself made the meeting to be quite brief, but I must say it was quite eventful. Francis?
Tell us a bit more about that. It sounds very hectic, and this wasn't so much a meeting of the task team as a sort of meet and greet, wasn't it?
Yes, it was two events, in fact, but in the beginning it started as the introduction of the PTT to the branch members and all the regional structures in the province. And it started as a very calm and jovial mood. Quite a lot of people were happy and approving of the PTT. As it happened when Mr. Obed Bapela was introducing these members of the PTT, that's when those groups of people would come into the hall and just disrupt his program, disrupt proceedings. But we understood later that after all of that was done, the PTT then now sat for their very first meeting, and of course it was a closed session, and then we were not allowed to take part in that. I understand right now, as things stand, that the different members of the PTT have been allocated to the different regions. We will find out the names later as to who will be deployed to which region and what their job precisely will be in that, Francis.
All right, so concerns around unity still in the Northwest, and there was some surprise that Supra Mahumapelo was on the task team in the first place. Some would say that he's created many of the problems for the ANC that it's now trying to fix. Is that why there's talk of legal challenges?
Without speculation, Francis, you will remember that this task team is sitting here today due to Mr. Mahumapelo being removed, first of all, as the Premier of the Northwest Province, and then secondly, as you mentioned, the disbandment of the PEC that was led by him as the chairperson of the ANC in the province. And the question that you ask of, isn't it surprising to see him in this new task team, has been asked by many people on the ground. And when we probe as the SABC News as to how come Mr. Mahumapelo is in this task team, we've been told by the NEC that all of the factions that are known and those that are unknown have been incorporated into this PTT. And the reason for that, the reason you see Mr. Mahumapelo as a part of the new PTT is that he is still quite a popular member of the ANC. He's got quite a lot of support in the ANC and is needed in the ANC. And so by putting him, including him as one of the members of the PTT, it's one way of the NEC to really forge unity, try to eliminate all those factions that are known, and hoping that they will be able to work together and in the name of the ANC make sure that they set aside their differences and lead the party forward, particularly now that they will be starting work to in leading to the national elections next year, Francis.
All right, well, let's see how voters take that after so many came out and involved in those very lengthy protests. Olebo, final question for you. Minister Edna Molewa, who passed away a few days ago, of course, was a former Northwest Premier. How is she being remembered in that province?
I mean, we were met with that shocking news on Saturday, Francis, and it was quite symbolic that Mem Edna Molewa passed away on World Rhino Day. She is known for her work, her activism against poaching of rhinos. So when we went about town to speak to the different people, members of community, some members of the ANC and of the government that have worked with him, everybody was shocked and everybody was disappointed, particularly the women of Mafikeng, saying that she started the groundwork in including women in leadership, and she really spoke for the rights of women, and that during her leadership, they felt included. They felt that she was, in fact, the one that could bring stability to the Northwest Province. And they were still hoping to see her maybe being deployed again as the Premier of the Northwest Province to bring again unity, because she's been long working in the Northwest Province. And as you said, she was a Premier. So she knows the issues of the province and has worked with quite a large number of ANC members and government structures in the province. And so many people were disappointed, very hurt about her departure, and just shocked that just the other day she was on the news. I mean, I saw her last at the meeting of the National Working Committee in Hartbeespoort, and she was in high spirits, greeting us all, even kissing some people as we would know her. And so to receive the news of her passing has been quite devastating to the province, but her legacy will remain. People have said that they will uphold the values that Edna Molewa stood for, particularly that of anti-poaching of rhinos, Francis.
All right, thank you very much. So many in the Northwest in mourning. That was the SABC's reporter in that province, Oleboheng Khosilenswe.